Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Kababayan LA, where today we're going to learn the story of this strong woman living with an illness, yet she continues to thrive as the owner, director, producer, and instructor of a dance studio. We're also going to be meeting some of her students, and they're going to be dancing for us this afternoon on the show. The right mix of entertainment and information for you. In information, we have some tips for you financially. Those who may need or who may have a need for debt settlement, we're going to be explaining that to you also today on Kababayan LA. But before anything else, let's talk about immigration update brought to us by Aquino and Low Law Office.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino and Low Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Allison Aquino, hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Hello, Janelle.
So Labor Day is over and now we're getting closer to the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So typically a lot of Filipinos go back to the Philippines around Christmas time.
Exactly.
And what are the risks involved for people that are traveling?
Well, right now is holiday season and people need to start preparing for their holidays. And as you mentioned, it's right around the corner, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And really what people need to start doing, first of all, is planning to determine whether they are eligible to go, whether they can obtain what's called an advance parole document in order to let them travel, or if they're a permanent resident, if there are certain risks involved with traveling.
Okay, advance parole document, who needs it? And I remember if you are a student visa holder or a work visa holder, these are the types of people that need advance parole document. Am I correct?
Actually, if those who are here on a non-immigrant visa, like an F visa or an H-1B, they are not eligible for the advance parole document.
Oh, wow.
They travel on their non-immigrant visa, so the F or the H visa.
Okay.
The advance parole document is actually a travel document issued by the Immigration Service, not the U.S. Embassy, and it's available to individuals with adjustment of status applications. And as well, recently, as you know, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, they will also be entitled to obtain advance parole documents.
How difficult is it to apply for advance parole documents?
It's not so much difficult as it is time-consuming, and so that's why right now is the time for people to submit applications if they plan on traveling during the holidays, because it does take about 2 to 3 months. Processing time.
And does it mean that when you apply, you're automatically granted?
It's not an automatic grant, but naturally that's why you need to take a look at the law and see whether you are eligible. If an individual has a pending adjustment of status application, they are entitled to obtain an advance parole document, and in that sense it is somewhat automatic. Because immigration does not want to necessarily bind the person to just stay here in the United States. And actually, this is a new development that just took place earlier this year. Historically, most people know and think that you're not supposed to leave the country until you legalize your status, until you've resolved everything.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
Right.
And actually, until you get your green card. That's been the historical way of thinking. Just earlier this year in April, there was a new case that revolutionized that and completely changed it. And so a lot of people don't realize that if they do have an adjustment of status application pending, they can now obtain an advance parole document and travel. And a lot of people have been stuck since about 2006, 2007. There was an ability to file an adjustment application, but then the priority dates retrogressed. And so a lot of people are still waiting for their adjustment applications, and it may still take another 1 or 2 years in order to be decided.
Right.
So advance parole is a very important document that gives them a little bit of freedom.
Right. And is it only a one-time travel?
No.
Okay.
It's the advance parole document can be used multiple times. It's generally issued for a 1-year period of time, sometimes 2.
Okay, so it's for vacation, people getting married in the Philippines and you need to go, or you want to go tour, somewhere in Europe, whatever, then you can do that, right?
Yes. But more importantly, most people get advance parole documents for fun, but more importantly, many people have been stuck in the U.S. for 10, 15 years. They haven't seen family. They have elderly parents who they want to go and visit. They sometimes have graduation of children who are left behind that they need to go see. And so now this does give them the opportunity and to take back a little bit of their lives.
Okay, it's not the case, however, for permanent residents with certain convictions, because it's not, you may not advise that. Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, any permanent resident who has a criminal conviction, they definitely need to seek the advice of an attorney, because what people don't understand is that when you travel outside of the United States and are re-entering, When you're reentering, you're actually applying for admission into the United States. And a permanent resident with certain convictions can be denied admission into the U.S. And actually, a lot of people, they don't realize because they may have traveled in the past.
Right.
And they never experienced any problems.
Yeah.
More recently, immigration has been better.
Sure.
They've been able to discover people's criminal histories a lot more now than they were in the past.
Up to 3 to 10 years ago?
Oh, longer than that.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
A criminal conviction doesn't disappear. So even if it's 10, 15, 20 years ago,
and they
it
can
may
still
come
use
up.
it against you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
What are some of those convictions that?
Anything drug-related, anything domestic violence, of course, anything that's a felony you need to be concerned about. Even a repeat multiple DUIs you need to be concerned about. And so any individuals with those particular problems, like I said, in the past, they may not have experienced problems, but now at the border, they do have access to a lot more databases, and they may experience problems now.
And that's why you need a lawyer. That's the information on the screen. Call Attorney Aquino, Attorney Allison Aquino, now Aquino and Lowe Law Firm. They also have an office in
San Mateo.
In San Mateo. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us today. And again, website on the screen. If you also want to consult with them via email, they do take that as well. Thank you so much and more power to you. Debt settlement and financial tips when we return on the show. Don't go away.